Do you think we should always take an athlete's word as gold, considering how strenuously Tyreek Hill has been boosting up Tua Tagovailoa, and now recently how much Eric Armstead has been praising Jimmy Garoppolo, called him a phenomenal, great quarterback?
I think this is an interesting topic because to me, this goes back to the Debo situation. Now, I think you and I were on it pretty early that Debo, there was a possibility he might leave. Now, I don't think either one of us said that it was for sure going to happen, but we talked about the social media stuff. I think that a lot of people hated that conversation, especially as early as we had it. But it became very apparent that there was a time where he asked to be traded. But the moment that he came out and was like, I mean, you guys don't know what you're talking about. The media has no idea. Everybody's like, see, Debo's fine. He wants to be a 49er. You don't know what you're talking about. And then it parlayed into the Eric Armstead situation, talking about Jimmy Garoppolo. You've heard Tyreek Hill talk about Tua. I've been in spaces, Grant, where I've heard Antonio Cromartie debated with him. I had a live debate with Antonio Cromartie where he told me that Patrick Mahomes was not a top 5 quarterback in this league.
Wow. Wow. Yeah.
Okay. Bottom line is this. I think that we take, and I say we as fans, take ex-athletes' opinions or current athletes' opinions as gold. It's like once they say something that goes against status quo, it's like, well, that athlete knows what they're talking about. You don't play the sport. How can you know what you're talking about? And I just think that's, to me, that's kind of a cheesy way to look at it. I think you should go by the eye test. What do your eyes tell you? And if you're watching Jimmy Garoppolo and you can honestly tell me that you see what Eric Armstead sees, or if you watch Tua and you can say that, hey, yep, he is better at anything than Patrick Mahomes because Tyreek Hill says so, then by all means, I'll listen to the argument. But if you're doing it just because another athlete, a fellow teammate says that, I can't go. I think that a lot of people take what they say as gold and they shouldn't. They absolutely shouldn't.
Yeah, like just because someone plays football doesn't mean they have a perception that's insightful about another player on his team. And this is what was so crazy about last season to me. Like everyone was saying, well, when Trey's ready, his teammates will know it. No, they won't.
How?
What are you talking about? They're focused on themselves. They're focused on getting better, 1% better that day. They're focused on pass rush technique or blocking or running routes. They're not sitting back there watching the quarterback all day being like, do you see that? It's like, first of all, they're not really qualified. They're qualified to play a position, not to judge another position. And they're not watching that closely. So the whole like, when Trey's ready, people will know it. No. And that's why they can't have a quarterback competition this year, because certain defensive tackles who think they know but don't already have their mind made up. And that's what's crazy to me about Trey. He's in such a tough situation where if the Niners don't win, don't go back to the playoffs this year, players on his own team are going to blame him. And they're not even going to have a good reason to. But it's like, well, Jimmy just won. Jimmy's phenomenal. Jimmy's a phenomenal quarterback, and we won with him. And it's like, okay, well, what made him phenomenal, and why were you winning? And maybe the fact that you lost a bunch of like DJ Jones and Laken Thomas and Alex Mack and all these players, I'm not saying they're going to miss the playoffs, but he's in a tough position, even in his own locker room. Like, yeah, we believe in you, buddy, but the wins better keep rolling in. They better. That's kind of how I interpret Armstead's words.
Yeah, and I don't disagree. But you know what's funny is, so Eric Armstead has said this twice during the offseason, that basically Jimmy is why we won. We were a losing franchise before Jimmy. Let's really break down the Jimmy Garoppolo time in San Francisco. So he comes in 2017, they go 5-0, right? Looked fantastic. Then 2018 starts. Let's not forget, before that ACL, they really should have been 0-3. They got beat by Minnesota. They should have lost to the Lions. They got gifted a win in that one, and then they were on their way to losing to the Chiefs. They should have been 0-3 with Jimmy Garoppolo. 2020 comes around, they win. Or excuse me, 2019 comes around, they win. Why do they win? They also added Bosa and Debo Samuel, two guys that are elite at their position. They
Somewhat.
add those guys. So then in
Somewhat
2020,
elite.
they lose again. What was that?
Yeah. Somewhat elite. Yes, somewhat.
Yeah, somewhat elite. Then they lose in 2020 when Jimmy was injured. But who else was injured?
Debo and
Bosa was
Bosa.
injured and Debo was injured.
Yes.
So, I mean, what are we talking about? Then they win again last year, but who was healthy? Debo, Bosa. I mean, I don't know, man. It's crazy to equate winning with Jimmy Garoppolo. It just is. I'm sorry.
It's absolutely crazy, but that's the way it works. And that's what some of the players on this team are doing. And that's why Trey Lance is in a tough spot. And what's crazy to me is I still don't feel that the team is 100% sold that they needed to replace Jimmy. I mean, if Eric Armstead, a captain, is publicly saying Jimmy Garoppolo is a phenomenal quarterback, phenomenal quarterbacks don't need to be replaced. He's 30, not 40. 30 years old, phenomenal quarterback. That to me says Armstead saying, I don't understand why we got a new quarterback. I don't understand why we traded up for this. I don't understand why we got a quarterback. I don't understand why we're replacing Jimmy. But, it's not my place to say. And, time will tell if Kyle's right. But I definitely am skeptical because he's a phenomenal quarterback. And this guy is only 22. And he's won one game. And this guy's went up. Blah, 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 blah. Tough spot. And
It is a tough
it
spot.
doesn't matter what you do. It just better win.
They like Jimmy as a person. Like that certainly gets in the way. When you're a teammate with somebody, if you like them as a person, they're automatically, they go from a 5 to a 7. Right? Like they're automatically better.
They also like winning, and Kyle hasn't proven he can win without Jimmy in Santa. Right. So, and they know that. So this guy, there's just natural skepticism. I think Kyle thought his team would be, hey, Kyle said it. It must be true, but not necessarily in the quarterback issue.
Now, this wasn't a topic, but in the same vein a little bit, did you see that clip or that picture that was posted of Brandon Ayuk playing Madden and he substituted Garoppolo for Trey Lance? Did you see that?
No.
Did you not see that?
No.
It was like a picture on his IG. He's playing Madden, and he's got Trey Lance in at quarterback, who is not the starter on Madden. It's Jimmy Garoppolo. I just thought it was pretty funny.
Nice. Well, he's probably trying to throw the ball to himself, and it's much easier to do that with Trey Lance.
He wanted to be a little mobile and throw it on the run. Yeah, Trey Lance will do that for you.